In the next 3 posts, I want to present a 6-liter naturally aspirated V16 engine intended for flagship vehicles. It prioritizes character, drivability, and reliability rather than peak power. I envision this V16 for sports cars like the Maserati MC12, as well as luxury sedans like the Aston Martin Lagonda. We named this engine PG601, as in P for petrol, G for 16, 60 for 6 liters, and 1 for Mark 1. Today I will go over the specs of and the philosophies behind PG601. In the next 2 posts, I will go over its bottom end and top end respectively. I have also created 3 scripts for use in the engine simulator game, 1 for PG601 and 2 for 90-degree variants with otherwise identical specs. I will attach a short clip at the end, and you can also find the links to download these scripts. To make the most power with internal combustion, forced induction is almost always the answer. However, small V8s can already make up to 1000 horsepower with turbos today, but there is no unique character in that. What we are after is unique, highly visceral experience marked by mechanical purity. We want a V16 because it is rare. We should not take away from the V16 experience by masking the induction sound with superchargers or the exhaust sound with turbochargers. Instead, we embrace the unique characters of a V16, and this means natural aspiration. For even firing, a 4-stroke V16 needs a power stroke every 45 degrees. Indeed, 45, 90, 135, and 180 are all possible bank angles. However, only with 45 or 135 degree bank angles, we can use the same crankshaft of the even firing inline 8 to get both even firing and alternating bank firing. That is left-right, left-right. This crankshaft is akin to that of a cross-plane V8 with each crank pin replaced by that of a 180-degree inline 2. Our double inline 8 design echoes the classic Cadillac and Auto Union V16s. By contrast, modern V16 engines often use the 90-degree bank angle. This is essentially two V8 crankshafts joined at a 45-degree angle, with crank pins pointing all 8 directions if it's a cross-plane, or pointing to just 4 directions if it's a flat plane. This requires, in the former, this requires 2 cross-plane V8 cranks, but still has to fire the same bank consecutively twice every 720 degrees of crank rotation. The double flat plane V16 could potentially exist, but it fires 2 cylinders on the same bank consecutively. The double inline 8 design comes with a simpler, lighter crankshaft and has more character than the double V8. Hence, our PG601 uses the 45-degree bank angle. Naturally aspirated engines are not as dependent on VVT as turbocharged ones. Still, VVT could help expand the torque curve and improve drivability. The trade-off is a more generic engine character. With 6 liters of displacement and 16 cylinders, our V16 is naturally blessed with a wide torque band. It is more important to preserve its unique character than to get some marginal smoothness low down. Indeed, we have other options to expand the torque curve that actually enhances the engine's character. Continuously variable intake runner, CVIR, is the key for our V16 to have a wide torque band while being unmistakably V16 throughout the rev range. Thanks to our 45-degree bank angle, this is reasonably simple. as the intake runners from both banks quickly merge into a single row as they enter the plenum. Internally, a single mechanical mechanism controls the telescoping trumpets, extending the runner length for low-end torque and shortening it for top-end power. Had it been a race engine, our double inline 8 design can make 50% more power revving into 5 digits. However, any V16 would have crank and cam rigidity to consider, and our PG601 already can touch 700 horsepower with a modest red line. Together with its simple mechanical design, our V16 can be exceptionally reliable and durable this way. The added benefit is that we can save some money by not using exotic parts. PG601 has 4 intermediary timing gears, 2 driven by the crankshaft and 2 that drive the 4 camshaft sprockets. The 2 timing chains connect these intermediary gears. The same crankshaft gear also drives the dry sump oil pump. This setup has 3 advantages. 1, it keeps the crankshaft as short as possible, and crankshaft length is a weak point of all V16 engines. 2, it is exceptionally robust. 3, the chains in the middle stop crankshaft harmonics from interfering with the cams. Indeed, the Bugatti Cosworth V16 also has 2 intermediary timing gears, but its chains route over the cam sprockets directly. All V16s must contend with exceptionally long crankcases. Hence, most use dry sump oil system to reduce windage and maintain oil pressure. I think a 5-stage scavenge setup is ideal with 4 stages along the oil pan and 1 stage coming off the rear of the valley. Needless to say, oil cooler is a must.